Earth to the Third Power presents Fools Who Ride. The Dreamstone.
Greetings, my friends, and of course, you are listening to Fools Who Ride the Dreamstone. I am your game master storyteller for this afternoon, this evening, or whenever the hell you are listening to this particular podcast. I am Mike the Birdman Dodd from ThisWeekInGeek.net, and of course, we are wrapping things up here on the show, or are we? Because I don't know what's going to happen from here on out, because I fly by the seat of my pants, as I will discuss a little bit later on in these episodes when we eventually get into the debrief as to what the hell happened during the course of this campaign. But we're not quite there yet because we have yet to confront the big bad. But I'm not alone as I trek through the worlds of Faerun, the Forgotten Realms of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I'm joined in the Midwest, in the great state. What state are you in again, Kat?
I live in Missouri. It's not that interesting.
Say, what's the coolest thing about Missouri, other than I couldn't spell it?
Nothing. Sorry to all the people who live in Missouri. I'm not originally from here, and it's miserable. It's the state of misery.
That's how I'll remember it. Miserable Missouri. Picking things up where hopefully things are a little bit more cheery.
Wait, you actually want me to intro myself like the characters?
We will get to that.
Okay. That's how we've been doing it, but we just went into shitting all over my state.
Yep, just miserable fucking Missouri. We're joined across the ocean by...
Hello, I'm Skyblaze.
Yes, and I can't think of anything particularly witty or amusing to say about England today that I haven't said 1,000 times before, so we'll just presume you are hanging with...
It's cold, it rains a lot. I have a lot of Doctor Who merchandise. Take your pick.
I like it. And of course, it would not be Nerd to the Third Power, or in this case, Fools Who Ride, without our intrepid leader who often leads us into trouble. We are joined with...
Dr. Gonzo.
That's right, guys. So, as we've been doing, and as I've evidently fucked up before we even got 5 minutes into this episode, let's have everybody introduce their characters. Kat, who are you playing today?
I am playing Lenore Longfellow. She is a level 3 human plague doctor cleric.
Fantastic. And Skyblaze, who are you going to be assuming the role of today?
Alisaria Sunshadow, a level 3 paladin of the high elf variety.
And finally, rounding out our cast of misfits, we have...
Marcus Hawk, a level 3 human knight.
All right, so when we last left our adventures, we had descended into the catacombs underneath a forest just outside of Cambridge, where we had located Clovis's lair, which had been filled with rust monsters that were attacking like xenomorphs from Aliens. We ran into a Gorgon named Derpy, who happened to be guarding the entrance, who was defeated by a mere stick. And we've also slit the throat of a elvish necromancer who is attempting to build flesh golems for some nefarious purpose. So I believe you are still inside the room, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, we literally just cut the guy's throat.
Yeah, and you heard a couple of voices coming towards you. So what are you guys going to do? If I remember right, that's where we left off, correct? You heard a couple of voices coming?
No, we didn't hear that the last time. So though this is new information.
Okay,
so I thought we did. I thought no, I don't remember.
So my first question is do these voices sound aggressive, like they're coming to investigate trouble?
Nope, they're just a couple of gruff-sounding people just talking. They don't sound to have any particular inflection in their voice. You just hear them talking about rather mundane things like, what are we going to do next? Can you believe this is what we're doing now? Sort of thing.
Okay, are they coming directly towards the room we're in?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have time to stuff the body in a closet and hide ourselves again?
Yes.
Okay, I vote we do that.
Yep.
So much blood everywhere.
It's an abattoir.
All
We
right.
just watched two orcs pick up an arm and eat it. I don't think they're going to notice a little extra blood.
Sure.
All right. So after a couple of moments, you scramble, hide the body, and after a few moments, you hear the voices approach the door, stop briefly outside, continue their conversation, and then after another minute or so, you just hear them continue walking down the hall.
Okay, so they just walk right past us then.
Possibly on a
Okay.
patrol pattern of some kind.
Okay. All right. So we need to work. We need to work out a plan. We need to work out where we're going to go from here. So draw lots to see who looks out the door.
Sure.
Okay. Do we want to roll for it, or does someone want to volunteer?
Yeah, we should roll for it.
I'll do it. Fine.
Okay.
I am all noble and holy and paladin-y.
Okay, so Alisaria decides to peek her head out the door, looks down both ways. You look down the hallway. Both, you can see clearly down. The hallway is extremely well lit. Smooth, very smooth stone on either side. You do see a couple of doors at the end of the hallway. You do see passageways that look like they lead up and one that leads down. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. You don't see the voices where they went. So you are completely alone right now.
Did we happen to could we discern which direction they were headed based on the voices?
You guess they're probably heading to the left, which means they are likely headed down.
Okay. All right.
When we know that that's where Clovis probably is.
Yep. So, okay. So we can't. So she can't see where either of them really leads, though. What
Yeah.
distinct rooms? Okay. All right. Did Alisaria? Do you see any other doors on the way down either of those hallways?
There were a couple, yes.
Hmm.
Some look like they lead up. There's only one passage that looks like it leads down.
Well, if Clovis is following the evil overlord list, his lair down will be the direction we want to go. The one thing I'm concerned about is running into other patrols on our way down and basically having to pull an episode 4 here. Okay, all right. Well, anyone got any ideas, or do we just want to try and just gun it?
Well, first of all, I am going to pray quite fervently. Lenore, would you care to join me?
Yes, absolutely.
I think we could use all the help we can get at this
We
stage.
need all we can get.
All right, so you pray to whatever gods you hope are listening, and
Please, Dawn Father, for the love of all the other gods.
Timora, we're betting our lives here, so if you could bless our gamble.
So, bone.
Pray to Tyr and Thorm for justice to be brought to this place and it to be cleansed in their holy light, and so on.
as you pray, you feel words escape your lips, and things seem to. You feel a shift in the energy in the room. Like, you don't feel as awful, as at unease, almost as if you're being looked after.
There's a kind of a bit of a, it's okay, you got this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you feel the gentle touch of the divine on your proverbial shoulder, as if to,
you got it, kid.
As if to say, we're paying attention right now.
All right. Well, I guess there's nothing for it but to, as Timoran devotees say, put our cards on the table. So let's just go ahead and go, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my sword so that I'm ready for attack at a moment's notice.
Okay. All right. So the group of you exit out into the hallway, and I presume you're headed towards the passageway that leads down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you start leading yourselves down the hallway, start walking. And after a couple couple minutes, not even. You eventually descend a staircase, and this one does take a while to get down. The rock work starts to get a little bit more ornate as you get down, and eventually you kind of descend into a balcony-like area, and you can oversee this gigantic room that looks down into like a pit, but it looks like this place has been here quite some time. Like, the stonework is really, really old, yet it's incredibly ornate. There are torches everywhere. Like, the ceiling for this room seems impossibly high, considering where you should be in the earth right now. As you look around, you can hear tons of movement in there. Looking around, you look on the floor below you, and you can see this giant statue, and that's on top of a fountain, even more massive than the one you saw at the entrance of this place. And it just has something coming out of its mouth, but you see this great winged form, and it seems to be intertwined with a rather regal-looking man. But you notice these bird-like talons that seem to be coming out of the one bird-like form. These 4 wings that just glisten with blood, or what looks like blood, because it does put off a very distinct shine. And there's also the features of the man, that's intertwined with this bird-like creature, are kind of like a mix between a man and a bird. The best way I can possibly describe it. And surrounding all of this, you see more of the creatures you fought outside, ones that took a lot to kill.
Oh.
You're seeing easily 100 of them. Plus you're seeing, you would guess to be many, many more just ordinary looking people who don't look like they've been dead too long. You're seeing people who look like they've been dead a long time, and skeletons. And you're seeing just a guy walking up and down the rows, throwing something onto the bodies, causing ones that are on the floor to animate, ones that are appearing agitated to calm down. And at the head of the room, you can see a guy who is dropped to one knee. He's dressed in some kind of armor. You can't get too good a look at him, as the light seems to almost unnaturally dim around him. And he just seems to be holding something that's putting off this orangish glow that's sitting on a pedestal. But this guy's completely by himself, separate from everybody else.
Okay. Taking care not to draw attention to myself, I'm going to pull out my pull out my sky blaze. Okay, yeah, like I just have sky blaze in my pocket.
Pocket sky blaze.
I'm gonna.
I know I'm small, but Jesus Christ.
She's like a Pokemon.
I'm gonna pull out my spyglass, and I'm gonna take a look at what I'm presuming is the priest throwing this stuff on the corpses, to see is that Para? Is that the guy that we met on the island?
Yes.
Son of a bitch! I knew I should have slit his throat when I got the chance. Okay, so I'm gonna point him out to Alisari and Lenore. Say, yeah, oh look, it's our friend down there. We probably should have gutted him when he had the chance. So.
Swearing under breath in Elvish.
Okay.
There's probably some draconic swearing in there as well.
Just because it sounds scarier.
Yeah, right.
It's like
Very
Russian.
satisfying.
We're like, oh, I don't know
You
what
kiss
that
your
is,
mother
but
with that
it's-
mouth? All right, and then I'm going to take a look at what I presume is Clovis at the head of the room, just to kind of get a look at him and try and get his measure as a fighter. So, do I need to roll a perception check or?
No, you can clearly see him. So you see a guy dressed in plate mail. It does seem sort of what Cambridge high-ranking officers might wear, but it seems sort of like mixed in with like Ordo stuff as well, sort of like it's haphazardly put together. So, in addition to that, you do see 2 orcs on either side of him, who he seems to be giving orders to. They don't seem particularly comfortable around him. Like you just get kind of a vibe of nervous energy off of them, and you can kind of guess it takes a lot to unnerve an orc. I mean, they'll do a lot for money, for food, or just for war, but it's almost like, I've got you twisted by the arm, you're going to do what I want, and if you don't, everyone you know is going to die. So Clovis is definitely commanding considerable power here.
Okay. I want to take a look around the room. Are there any entrances into the room that don't take us through the hordes of fucking flesh beasts?
Not really. There are two staircases that descend off the balcony where you are that lead directly down. And that's pretty much about it.
Okay.
Hey, we're on a mezzanine type floor, aren't we?
Yes.
So is Clovis directly in front of us, to the left or to the right?
Directly in front of you, more or less.
Right. And the undead creatures are in between us and him.
Yes.
That is unfortunate.
And there's no other entrances into the room besides the one we're in?
No. However, looking around, the undead creatures, they don't seem to be reacting. They, like, whenever the priest walks by them, they just kind of stand at attention, more or less, after Paris passes by and throws some kind of a powder on them.
Okay, Alisaria, these flesh golems, if we kill Para, do you think that might deactivate he might be the one controlling them, that if we kill him, that'll deactivate them?
Best hope.
It depends. Can I roll for knowledge for that?
Yes.
So that would be
It'd be knowledge arcana.
Arcana, yeah. I have plus 1 in that. Fine. 13.
You would guess, if this guy is some sort of a necromancer or has some kind of abilities tied to some sort of a demonic lord or some type, yeah, he's probably commanding these things, which means if he dies or is incapacitated in some capacity, he may lose control of them. You're not sure if that's 100% true. It's an educated guess at best.
Define lose control. Like they'll deactivate or they'll just go berserk?
You don't know.
From what I don't know, but usually in the absence of standing orders, for a lack of a better term, they'll just do nothing apart from protect themselves. But that's a bit of a gamble.
On the topic of bit of a gamble, I have 1 use of turn undead.
Will it be enough to turn a horde that big?
Real good question. Real good question. Let me look at my abilities here. Where are you?
Out of character, in a perfect world, we would be able to lure Para away and take care of him. If we could lure him away and kill him away from everything else, that might buy us at least a chance with getting through that horde. We didn't happen to get the name of the guy whose throat I cut, did we?
Silvio.
Okay, was he
any creature in 30 feet, any undead in 30 feet.
Okay.
This room is significantly bigger than that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then,
far away are the targets?
You're guessing probably about 100.
Okay.
But you're also high up, so they haven't noticed you yet.
Okay, I'm swinging for the fucking fences here. Do we have a grappling hook and a rope?
I have a rope.
Let me check. I don't think I do.
Let me check my character sheet. Does it say how long it is?
Usually
Dramatic
30
length
feet.
is fine with me.
Are you suggesting we Errol Flynn it?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Oh god. All right.
The Indiana Jones theme tune playing in the back.
So I have 50 feet of rope.
Y'all remember I do fencing for a hobby, right? Of course I'm going to suggest we do the Errol Flynn thing.
See, I'm thinking we might try and do what we did back on the island. Try and do Master Peta, there's something you need to see, because we know that he'll fall for it. And
Is he going to fall for the same trick twice?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we say say Silvio has something that he needs to see, and then he'll come to the abattoir, and we just ambush him there. But you got a good question. Will he fall for that same trick? Will he fall for that same trick twice?
And how would you lure him?
Considering that I don't think either any of us can imitate his voice convincingly.
Yeah, and I have outside of Silvio and Para, I haven't seen any other human-ish worker. So, unless one of us can do an orc impression, I don't know if just calling out would give us away. Okay, all right. Can I roll a perception check on Para to see if I can get an idea of how much of a hassle he'd be to put down if we decide to pull an Errol Flynn?
You can size him up. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so all right, rolling a perception check. Alrighty, Timora, be with me. Bless these dice. Oh, nat 20.
All right.
Seriously?
Well, physically, it looks like you could kick his ass and feed it to him. You don't know how much he's packing magically, so you don't know how powerful he is in that regard. Like, he could fireball your ass into oblivion.
I have a possible thing that I could do about that. Because I have Sanctuary as a spell. Means I can ward any creature within range. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
So you cast that on me, and okay. I'm a little pissed off that I used all my bolts to try and lure away the rust monsters. I could have tried sniping him with my crossbow.
Do you have a dagger?
Do I? That's a good question.
I do.
Wait, are you suggesting we load the dagger into the crossbow and fire it?
I'm not suggesting that. I'm also suggesting you could Rambo this and just hit him in the head with a knife.
Yeah, no, that
Is there any chandelier we could drop down from?
No, there is no chandelier.
I still reckon rope on a thing and dramatic zipline slide would be awesome.
Because the great part will be when we try and lasso a stalactite or something, and then it falls, and then we just have this rope that drops down in front of them.
Okay, the thing that we're standing on, you say it's a mezzanine. Is there like a railing or something on it, or is it just like floor?
It's just floor.
Is there possibly a large tower shield that we could Legolas snowboard down?
You are not snowboarding on my. You are not doing a Tony Hawk on my shield.
I have my own shield I could Tony Hawk on, but if I could do it on someone else's shield and then go down with the shield in front of me, and then just battering ram.
Unfortunately, not.
Just
because I would have paid good money to see that.
Okay. And you said the room is pretty brightly well lit, not a whole lot of shadows?
Not a whole lot of shadows. At least around the edges where you are well hidden. There's no way they'd see you unless they had, like, dark vision. And even then. But yeah, as you get closer to the center of the room, things are well lit.
Here's a question. Aren't we still looking for the Dreamstone?
I think we found it. I think that's the thing on the pedestal.
Did we find that?
The orange thing.
So we don't need to... There's no MacGuffin we're coming in here looking for.
No, it
looks like we've take down a dude.
Yeah, it looks like we've pulled a hat trick. We've managed to find our MacGuffin. We found our target. We found a guy that we really should have killed back on the island.
Okay, I was really hoping there was, like, another object we needed to find, and if we just destroyed that object, it would just take care of everything.
Okay, is Para moving in any kind of pattern that maybe he might come close to one of the shadowed areas and we can...
kneeling, right?
No, that's Clovis. Para's moving around with in between the undead people, throwing cocaine on them.
Oh, as one does.
Crack! It solves all problems. Okay, but is he moving in any kind of pattern that we might be able to hide ourselves behind some cover or in one of the shadowed areas and, like, jump him?
He is walking up and down the rows. There are 4 rows of about 20 each.
Jesus.
I think my math works out.
That's about 80.
That's a lot.
That's 80 flesh golems.
We've got to take the human people out fast. I genuinely think our best solution is we've got to go in and, like, snipe Para and then focus everything on Clovis.
Or just grab the Dreamstone and see if we can use that against him somehow.
Do we have it?
The Dreamstone? No, it's on the pedestal.
And that's 100 feet away.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Para, one way or another, is between us and the Dreamstone. Ordinarily a very dangerous place to be, but he's got 80 fucking flesh golems.
So let's get
Although,
that.
to kind of clarify, they're not flesh golems, they are the creatures you fought outside. They are wights.
They are
Oh, is that what they are?
The flesh golems, you don't know if he has any. Which, if he does, that's considerable bad news for you.
Well,
Those fuckers are tough.
Well, then the whites, which were damaged sponges anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
So we need to get there quickly and make the Dreamstone the first target, and then
we can't cross the room without Para activating the whites and basically jumping us.
Yeah, but if we go faster than that, if we can book it, basically.
Zerg. So basically, you're talking about Zerg rushing him.
Yeah, I'm talking about a mad dash. It's not a good idea. It's just an idea.
Through 4 gauntlets of whites on either side of us. Yeah, no,
zombies and skeletons.
So if we were to Errol Flynn it, what are we hooking up a rope to exactly?
You could swing. Well, the statue of the creature is pretty big. Is pretty tall.
So could we
do it? Let's
lasso
do it.
that?
You could Darkwing Duck this thing, yes.
Yes.
All right, so okay, who's got the? All right, so Alisaria, do you think if you were to fucking Batman this shit that you might be able to swing past Para and take his head off with your greatsword on your way down?
I can give it a try. I hope you're going to put appropriate theme music behind this when you post this.
Darkwing Duck theme song.
This is the sort of thing that needs a theme music power up, I feel.
Okay.
Fun fact, in one of the games I ran, I actually gave my party one theme music power up per campaign.
Well, we need to do something, or else this whole episode is just going to be us talking and planning. So, all right,
that happens.
Let's do it.
Since this idea is so bold,
or what is that the plan?
Well, Mike was about to say something, so I think he's going to give us a leg up.
Okay, so since this plan is so bold and so foolhardy, I'm giving you advantage on your roll. So don't waste it.
Okay. But before we do that, I'm understanding that it's just gonna be one person getting on the rope and Darkwing ducking it. What are the rest of us doing?
Well, I'm going to be the giant fucking distraction, so I hope the rest of you are going to be taking advantage of that.
Which brings us back to, are we gunning it through going down the stairs and bum rushing on the floor full of zombies? Or are we gonna take turns doing a swing?
Lenore, let's you and I go after Clovis and try and get his attention, get the Dreamstone. Alisaria, your target is Para. Knock him out or kill him. Do something to and hopefully his undead army will just deactivate. And then the only other rogue element is the Demon Prince. I'm really hoping he doesn't decide to make an appearance, but I don't think Timor is gonna make it that easy for us.
We've got orcs as well.
Yeah, that's another thing.
If we take out Clovis, the orcs will probably, hopefully, just be like, I'm not getting paid enough for that.
Hopefully, but more likely he'll probably hang back and send the orcs after us.
Yeah.
So
we might be able to negotiate them.
Throw gold at them?
Basically, they look like they're uncomfortable already. If we're like, hey, you don't want to do this guy's bad news and we'll take care of him for you, maybe some sort of negotiation like that might be okay. Maybe. But again, are we going down on the ground and bum rushing?
I mean, I don't see any other choice, how we have any other choice.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, we'll go after Alisaria jumps so that all the attention is on her for a few moments.
See how much the rope swings back if we can get one more ride on this train.
I mean, do we want to try that?
Maybe one person stay behind to see if the rope swings back, and then one person bum rush ahead.
All right. Okay. Okay. You stay behind with the rope. I'll try and sneak up to get to Clovis. Okay. If it looks like things are about to go sideways for me, you come down and help me. Otherwise, you might be more useful with Alisaria because you've got turn undead.
Right. I'm just like I can kind of clear a bit of a path, maybe.
Yeah.
But if I could also lure some of the undead my way.
Yeah.
Stop Para.
Yeah.
Okay, we got this.
Okay, so everybody knows what they're doing.
Great.
So everybody knows what they're doing?
Yep.
Okay, do we need to do a dirty dozen, number one, now it's fun kind of thing?
What
Am I the only one who's seen that movie?
Watch the plan immediately fall apart.
Okay. All right.
So who's going first?
Me.
All right, Alisaria. So you managed to lasso onto the top of this gnarly-looking statue. The rope holds.
I'm gonna, before she goes, I'm gonna just pat her on the shoulder and give her guidance.
Okay.
Which gives you an extra D4 on an ability check.
And I'm also gonna pat her on the shoulder and say, if we don't make it, I just want you to know I wasn't that annoyed by your god bothering.
If this all goes south, it has been a pleasure fighting alongside both of you. And I'll give a quick bow and then do the thing.
All right, so you lasso onto the statue, you swing dramatically down through the crowd of whites, zombies, and skeletons, and you pretty much land face to face with Paris, who looks utterly surprised to see you. He's like, what?
I'm gonna grin at him. Hello! And then swipe at him with my sword.
Okay. You swing with advantage.
3. Nat 20!
Woo!
That's a hit, obviously.
9. 9 damage.
Alright, so you slash at Paris, dealing 9 damage. You cut across his belly. Doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, but it definitely cuts him open. It cuts through his robes. He's definitely hurt. He's going to attack back before the others can react. He's going to try and cast a spell at you.
Shit.
So he's using a touch attack of some type. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes.
Okay, so roll. I'm gonna allow you to roll your own damage. So roll 3d10.
Ow.
He's casting inflict wounds.
Oh no! I can pay him back for that with that exact spell.
7.
Okay, so you are hit for 7 damage as you feel just something wither away at you and just feel sick and disgusting. It hurts a lot. It doesn't kill you, obviously, but it hurts a lot, unlike anything you've ever really felt before.
Bastard.
Okay, so the other two. All right, so Marcus and Lenore, what are you guys going to do?
Does the rope swing back?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then I am going to sneak down the steps as quickly but as quietly as I can towards the podium to get close to Clovis.
Okay.
And on my way down, can I roll a perception check on the orcs, see if I might be able to take them?
Yeah, you can try.
All right. 19.
You won't be able to sneak up on them. They will see you coming. But, they don't appear like they're really kind of doing much. Like, almost as if they care what's happening, but they're not going to do anything unless ordered to.
Oh, they're like the Swiss Guard. They're just there for show.
Apologies to all the Catholics in the audience. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and again, with sword and shield at the ready, I'm going to try and sneak towards the podium as quietly as I can so as not to draw, again, the attention of Clovis until the last moment, or Para's attention, have him sick the undead on me.
Okay, roll me a sneak check if you're going to try and sneak through this crowd.
Oh god, and I'm wearing heavy armor, so that means I'm at disadvantage, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right, so that's what, 2d20?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first roll is a 19, so, that's encouraging. And the second one was a 17.
You managed to get through, surprisingly. The undead hordes don't pay any attention to you, and the orc guards that appear to be guarding Clovis notice you, but don't say anything.
Because they're like, fuck this guy.
They give no shits. Okay, alright. That's my action.
All right, Lenore, what are you going to do?
Okay, gosh, there's what I want to do, and there's what my character would actually do. How far can I get to, how far can I get? So I know one of my companions is sneaking up towards Clovis, and one of my companions landed at Para. How far can I get?
Dramatically, you can easily get to Para if you take the rope route. If you follow Marcus, it'll take you around, but you can catch up to him, I'll say. Just for dramatic purposes.
Okay, so basically I can drop down near Para.
Yeah.
And that's the furthest I can get, because I basically have to drop down and book it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will, yeah, I'm gonna guide myself, and then do the rope trick.
Okay, so again, you grab onto the rope, you slide down it all dramatic like Batman, and you land right beside
Batman. I've got
Para.
a mask on.
Would that make you the Crow instead?
I mean, little column B.
Para looks at you and is like, interloper!
Oh, I appreciate that Welcome to Night Vale reference. I will, I am gonna I'm gonna start running, and as I'm running, I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead at Para.
Okay.
But I'm gonna book it towards Clovis. And by Clovis,
Okay.
I mean it's Dreamstone.
Alright, so what do I have to roll for his saving throw? Or anything?
Gosh, it's just a Wisdom 12.
Okay, so
Please.
I roll a 10, so I failed.
Yes, he just takes, I believe just 1d8 and there's no extra effect. Oh, no, wait, hold on. said if the target is missing any of its hit points, it instead takes 1d12.
Ah.
So he did take damage last time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So 1d12 necrotic damage. That's a 2. Woo,
Ow!
killing.
You bit me.
Hey, you know, every little bit helps.
Your dice have been against you this entire game.
I know, it's really sad. I really should use my new dice, but they're in my bag and I don't feel like getting them out.
All right. So I guess now at this point we've lost the element of surprise. So that means I guess we have to roll for initiative.
Yep.
All right.
Rolling for the entire room of monsters. 17.
Oh God.
Oh my god, I'm so cursed. My dice, why are you like this?
Oh my fucking god. But I'm fairly sure that my dice were worse,
Nope.
because I got a 3.
I'm telling you, I could not have rolled lower.
What?
You got a 1?
I got a 1 on my initiative, and I have no modifier.
Oh my god.
I need to start sending you guys some of my dice because I rolled an 18.
I need to
So
go
my
get
dice
them.
have actually been pretty good up until right now.
Okay, so it goes Marcus, the monsters, Alisaria, and then Lenore.
Yep, you know, it's not always a bad thing to have your cleric go last. Just putting
That's
that out
true.
there.
Okay. I am going. All right. I'm gonna swing for the fucking fences,
Okay.
and I'm going to call out to Clovis.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to roleplay.
Okay.
Oh, this should be exciting.
Imagine that!
What? We can't have role-playing in this role-playing game?
All
While
right.
while still keeping my weapons at the ready and moving towards him, I'm going to shout, Clovis! Is this what a man of your noble bearing has become? Why do you do this?
He slowly stands up, and as he turns around to face you, you see a guy whose facial features have become twisted. Like it's almost like part of him has become corrupted by something. Like his facial features are taking on a more animalistic bent, sort of resembling the statue behind you.
This can't possibly be a bad thing.
And he's like,
This is fine.
"What would you have me do?
Fine.
Everything has been taken from me. I have one chance to get it all back, to take it all back, to have it as it once was. Yeah, I will do what I have to. I will do what I must. And I don't care who gets in the way of it."
This isn't the way, though. I know what it's like to lose everything. I was once a knight of Alendia, and now I've been stripped of my title, my lands, and cast out from my home. Believe me, I sympathize with you. But this is not the way. You lost your family. I understand that, but look at yourself and what you're doing, what you've brought down on Cambridge. Would your wife and child want to come back to you after what you've done? Would your daughter even be able to look you in the eye?
He pauses for a second. He looks. You've clearly got through to him for just a second. When you mention his daughter, he pauses. He looks at you again and goes, "My family will know what I've done. They will be able to look at me because they will know that I have sacrificed everything possible for them."
Including everything they cared about?
If it means they will walk this plane again, yes.
So in trying to bring them back, you'll also take away everything that they care about, including yourself? Tell me, tell me about your family, Clovis. Tell me what they were like.
He starts walking towards you. He draws his greatsword. As you start saying this, you feel the room shake. You feel the room shake, and you hear the cracking of stone as the statue behind you begins to move.
Oh, bugger.
And you just hear a voice in your head, Marcus.
Nope.
You can't get through to him. He already belongs to me. Why do you fight against the inevitable? Why not join us? Cambridge will already burn. The Dreamstone is almost full. All it needs is a few more souls. So I'll give you this option. Join us. Let Clovis be reunited with his family. Do the knightly thing. Do the right thing. Do the honorable thing. Give the man what he wants. Give your life for a noble cause. And maybe I won't send you to the 9 hells of the abyss.
I'm going to power through that, and I'm going to shout in a manner that that hopefully will reach Clovis as well as the demon, so that he knows basically I'm serious, and say, "There's nothing noble about this. Your family would not want this. They would want you to. They would want you. Oh God, see, this is why I hate improvising.
Welcome to the difficulty of roleplay.
There's nothing noble or knightly about this. You're a better man than this, Clovis. Your family would not want this. They would recoil in horror at this. You're destroying everything that you've built, everything that you've had, everything that you and your family love. You're destroying their very memory by doing this."
Clovis keeps walking forward. He goes, "What makes you think I've been given any choice?" And as he starts walking towards you, you notice his eyes are weeping blood. His features becoming more and more twisted.
Gross.
And he's like, "I have to do this. I don't want to, but I have to do this."
No, you don't. You're a man of strength and conviction. I've read your battle record. You are a man of great character and courage. There's always a chance to come back. You can, even if you don't get to see your family on this mortal plane. If what happens here winds up taking your life, you'll be able to see your family again in life everlasting in the next world. I'm going to presume that's how the afterlife works in this universe, because I know fuck all about the background of Faerun. Meanwhile, Skyblaze's character is off in the middle of fighting Perilousness, going, so he does listen to me sometimes.
Or
so
doesn't listen to me at all.
I'll give you a full critique later.
D-, see me after class.
As you say all this, you do notice the room fills with this fiery red glow. And you see 2 ghostly figures emerge from behind Clovis. And they just appear writhing in agony, just covered in fire and flames. And they're crying and weeping and screaming. And they're just begging, like, "Clovis, don't let them hurt us anymore."
Okay, I'm gonna
do what he says. Just do what he says. Whatever you have to do, just do it.
Okay, I'm gonna indicate to Clovis that he should turn around. Look at what you're doing to them even now.
He starts to turn, and you hear this tremendous, monstrous voice fill the entire room. "Do not turn from me. Follow through with what you do. Give me the blood of Cambridge and every soul that lies within it, and you will have your family again. Otherwise, they will burn with me."
Yeah, are we? I mean, this is a long round of initiative. We're still on initiative.
At this point, I am going to turn and raise my sword, kind of like for the honor of Grayskull style.
Yes.
Okay.
And well, what I'm actually going to be doing is turn the unholy, but I'm going to be doing it in a suitably dramatic way, which lights my sword up with holy light.
Okay.
So it's the Divine Smite ability.
All right.
So I'm going to do that and say, "Silence, demon! Your words are poison."
All right. What does the demon roll to resist that, or does it just happen?
I have to roll. Hang on.
This is going to really
wisdom,
suck if she rolls
wisdom,
a 1 after
wisdom,
such a dramatic display.
Wisdom saving throw. He has to roll over an 11.
Okay. Rolling, no modifiers. I rolled a 7. The demonic voice shuts up as the room fills with the bright light from Arisaria's sword, and everything in the room backs up a few steps.
Clovis, listen to Marcus. It isn't too late for you to come back to the light, no matter how much it hurts.
He continues walking towards Marcus. He's like, look at them. They are in hell. I can bring them back. I don't know the people of Cambridge like I used to. All they do is sit all day around and dream and just work tirelessly for a lord that cares for them nothing. He sits up in his manor and does nothing but give them cake and circuses.
And
I want my family back.
And what are you doing to them? Is
Giving
this a
them
price you're willing to pay?
For them to be made flesh again in life everlasting? Yes.
You're just what you're doing is dragging them into hell with you. You can release them.
He pauses at that.
Look, I understand you've lost everything. I have too. And believe me, there's not a day goes by that I don't wish I could go back and undo what I did to get myself exiled. But this isn't the way. But this isn't. But trying to undo it this way, you're just making things worse. Even if you do bring them back this way, you won't be able to look them in the eye, knowing what you've done, and they won't be able to look you in the eye. You'll be destroying the very family that you built by trying to bring them back. Is it really worth bringing them back into this realm this way, if by doing so, you know you will never be able to have the love and the care that you had before?
You're just trading one false dream for another.
Look at who you're working with. I gesture to the statue.
Clovis stops. He looks up at the statue. He raises his greatsword. He turns around, faces his family, just sees them writhing in agony, and you just feel the room light up again with that intense, fiery red light. By the way, how are we doing for time?
We've got about another 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So, the room continues to glow with this intensely fiery red light. You just see the two ghostly figures start to scream and writhe in agony even further. And you hear the voice fill the room and say, "Enough! Defy me no further. Clovis, kill the interlopers, burn Cambridge to the ground, bring me the souls I desire, or they will be destroyed and rended from all eternity."
Is this who you're wanting as your boss?
I mean, sure, he pays well, but the benefits package is just crap.
Clovis drops his sword and he starts weeping openly and saying, "I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. He's too strong. I have to do this." But his back is turned.
I'm gonna walk over to him and cast Sanctuary on him.
All right.
It's mostly a flavor thing, but for the kind of feel of it, I'm going to cast Sanctuary on him and say, "The light is still within you. Use it to fight him. We're here and we'll help you."
So as you cast Sanctuary on him, you just feel this purifying light cover the room as if to fight against the encroaching red light that fills. And the light touches the ghostly figures and Clovis just enough that the ghostly figures turn from red to blue and white. And they reach out ever so slightly. Part of their bodies are still covered in flame, but the part that is white is not. It is as if they were made flesh again. And they start walking towards Clovis. Eventually, they stop screaming and they enter the zone of the cleansing white light. And you just hear them hug, or you see them hug Clovis. And both of them are like, it's all right. And then the older woman says, I forgive you. I know what you want to do is right. I know you love us. But you have to let us go. We didn't deserve to die, yeah. That's true. And I couldn't save our daughter. But you gotta let her go too. Nothing can bring us back. Not this demon, not a god. It was our time. This is fate. You can't change fate, despite everything this demon has promised you. You can't bring us back. You know what you have to do. You know what it's going to cost you. Please, Clovis. Please do it. And as the woman says that, the room again fills with the fiery red light. The light fades away. Clovis stands up to both of his feet, grabs a hold of the Dreamstone, looks up at the statue, which is now fully animated and moving. Statue looks down at him, which is now taken on this fully animated winged creature-like feel, and goes, defy me once more and see what happens to you. He goes, my name is Clovis, protector of Cambridge, and I will see my family in this life or the next, one way or another. And he crushes the Dreamstone in his one hand. The Dreamstone shatters, crushes into 1,000 pieces. The entire room explodes in this greenish light, and everything is just awash. You are completely blinded by it. You hear these unholy human screams as everything in the room, every white, every skeleton, every zombie just goes up in flames. Everything in the room is on fire. You just see the animated statue of Pazuzu freeze in this unholy look of agony as it screams, no! And after a few moments, the light subsides, this thunderous roar stops. The room is empty. Pear is nowhere to be seen.
I'm gonna very slowly bring my arms down from where they were shielding my eyes. Roll call, is everyone alive?
I don't know, are we?
I can't see, so I can't tell you.
Alright, count off. 1.
2.
Sir Clovis? Blinking the light out of my eyes.
I hid myself behind my shield, so can we say that my eyes are clear since I was and since I'm going to say, so do I see Clovis? Is he
You see Clovis's body.
He's dead. Well, I mean, I don't know if he's dead. I'm gonna check for a pulse.
You approach his body. His body has been restored. He no longer has the twisted facial features. He has his one arm up on his sword, like his sword is stuck into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You see the remnants of the Dreamstone in his other gauntleted fist, but otherwise the life has left his body, though he does have a rather serene look on his face.
He's dead. The blast killed him, but it seems to have also purged the darkness from his body. And you know what it means now that he smashed the Dreamstone. We're not getting paid.
Well,
sometimes there's things more important.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that. I say sarcastically. All right, so I'm gonna close his eyes, and I'm going to gather up the shards of the Dreamstone and put them in my pouch.
Do
you know peaceful repose? Do you happen to know peaceful repose? No? If not, that's okay. We'll get one of the clerics at the city to take care of it. I think we should take him back for a proper burial.
Yep. All right.
So anything at all left in this room?
No, nothing. It's as if the room was just the statues, other than the Pazuzu statue, which is now just rock. It's no longer a fountain anymore. It's just a giant statue.
Is it the same statue?
Yes.
So it's still a Pazuzu statue.
It's still a Pazuzu statue, but it's now, whereas before it looked evil and triumphant, now it looks afraid and in pain.
Mm.
Are there any other doors leading out of this room?
Just the ones you came in.
All right, and I'm guessing the orcs are gone?
Everybody's gone.
All right.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Do you think we ought to do something?
Canvas the joint?
That's what we were already doing. Do you think we ought to destroy that statue?
Can we? I mean, the only thing that we have is your mace.
True.
So, we'll probably have to see if we can't get the kingdom to pay some of the Fireforge dwarves to come out here and blast it down.
Maybe leave it to the druids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so hoisting Clovis on my shoulders and going, oh, Christ, he's heavy. Can somebody give me a hand here? This guy's wearing fucking heavy armor.
Yeah, all right. Shush.
Yep.
All right, so you hoist Clovis out, or onto your shoulders, and as you start making your way up through the layers of the dungeon, this place is empty. Like, you don't see any remnants of the rust monsters. You don't see anything else. It's like this place hasn't been touched.
I'm going to check my herb pouch and see if the herbs that I had stolen are still there.
They are still there.
Okay, cool.
In that case, I'm going to offer up a prayer of thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I can do that while carrying this guy, that's fine.
All right. So eventually you emerge outside.
I'm also going to offer a prayer of thanks to Timora for blessing my gamble, because it seems to have paid off quite handsomely.
As you emerge out into the outside.
Well, hang on. But before we go outside, I want to peek out the door, see if that Gorgon is still out there.
You unbolt the door, take a peek around. It's a sunshiny day. You don't see the Gorgon anywhere.
It's wrestling with the stick.
All right. I just realized none of us have horses anymore. We left them outside the woods. We're going to have to carry this bastard through the woods.
Or two of us stay here, somebody goes back to get the horses and leads them here, and then we put him on a horse.
All right. Roll for it.
Fine.
Look at the horses.
All right. D4. I rolled a 4.
Get the horses. It's
all right.
Fine. I will. How far back did we leave our horses? Because it was like a day ago.
All the way outside the woods, so we should probably just all walk.
Yeah.
Maybe the druids will take pity on us and lend us some pity horses.
Pity horses. Some giant rabbits. Muscoville rabbits.
So, as a sake of, for dramatic purposes, you guys do travel through the woods. It does take you the better course of a day and change to get through. You do take turns carrying Clovis's body. As you get towards the shore, you do notice a boat there. If you want to go back the way and maybe see if Thera is still anchored off. You don't see her boat, but that doesn't mean she won't come back. There was a boat left there, which does have her markings on it. Or you can try going back towards Cambridge. You just have to take the long way. You'd have to walk it, but...
I'm wondering if there's any indication of where Para came from, because the last time we saw him, wasn't he getting onto a ship?
last time we saw him was in the temple, and he ran the fuck away. But no, if I recall, he was from Ordo, so he's probably headed home.
Well, no, he's probably dead now, but I thought the last time we saw him before the big final battle was on the pirate island place, and he was getting on a ship, but I was wondering if there was another ship around.
I imagine it probably dropped him off and then pissed off somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, if he shows up on another one of our jobs, we'll take care of him then, like we should have the first time. So, all right, I say we take the boat. If for no other reason, then we won't have to haul around this body on our backs for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it would be nice to sit
Suits
down.
me.
All right, so I will not dump, but I will, kind of as gently as I can, considering this guy's heavy, put Clovis's body in the boat and take up an oar.
Okay, so with that in mind, you start making your way back towards the boat. And where are you guys headed again? Back towards Cambridge or back towards Thera, or where?
Back towards Cambridge.
Back towards
Okay.
Cambridge.
All right, so
It's got a port, right?
yes. So as you start rowing towards Cambridge in the boat, the seas are remarkably calm. The further you get from Cambridge, Clovis's body begins to disappear. And eventually all is left is his sword.
No. Oh, we spent a whole day lugging this dude's corpse, and it just fucks off.
Well-
Occasionally, the gods appear to have a very perverse sense of humor.
Is it what kind of sword is it?
It's a two-handed greatsword.
All right, not something I'd use. So, all right. Who wants to take the sword?
I'll just present it to the Lord.
I was going to say, let's show it to the Lord first, and if he wants it, then we give it to him. Otherwise, we keep it. And
Okay.
we'll decide then.
All righty.
I know you're a bit pissed that we're not getting paid, but let's not pillage the dead before time, okay?
All right.
All right, so over the course of the next day or so, you begin rowing and you make your way back towards Cambridge. But that's not the end of our adventure. We still have to find out what the aftermath of all this is. As I understand, we are beginning to wrap up the episode of a fucking ambulance. There are no ambulances wandering the streets of Cambridge at this particular point in time. Anyway, so before that gets any louder, I have been your game master / storyteller, Mike the Birdman Dodd. I have been joined with
Dr. Gonzo.
The cat.
And Skyblaze.
And of course, we will see you next time on Fools Who Ride the Dreamstone, right here with Nerds of the Third Power. Again, I've been Mike the Birdman Dodd from ThisWeekInGeek.net. Catch you guys next time.